Alright, so in the last video, we made the login function and the main function that we're going to be using to utilize all these other functions we're making. Uh, so instead of making it so then we scroll for links and, try to abuse the infinite scroll here, you see I scrolled down a little bit already, but if I refresh, if I refresh here, you see the bar here, when I go down, it'll load more content, load more content, load more content. We're not going to do that. We're just going to have it grab the first hrefs from the top page here. So let's get going with it. We'll start a new file. We will call it getlinks.js. Let me pop over here and just be sure that I've got everything set up. Perfect. Module.exports is equal to an async function. And we're just going to be passing in the page here and also the username that we need to scrape. So let's call it username to scrape. And we're going to create a URL, and we're just going to grab the Instagram URL. You see that to go to a user's page, you just add / and whatever that user is. So we're going to pop that in here. And I'm using backticks, which is string interpolation. It will just pop whatever variable that you pass in here into that portion of the string. So you can see username to scrape, and that will be, if I pass in CDA Spider-Man, then it will be instagram.com/CDA Spider-Man. And then what we want to do next is go to that page. So we'll wait page.goto URL, the URL that we just created, and then grab all of the links. So we're going to do const links, and this is going to be an array, and we're going to use the $$, and we pass in a CSS selector. So if I've already got the dev tools open here, if we hover over this portion, you see that there is this href attribute. If I click on that, then it'll go to the photo. And that's exactly what we want. We want it to, go here and then like that photo. So we need to somehow pull out this href attribute. And what we're going to do is just quick and dirty grab the class name here. You could do it through some other means, but I think that this is probably the easiest way, and this is going to be the way that we're going to be going through a few of these. Because these are classes, you want to add the dot in the section over here. And we don't want to just grab the div. We want to grab the anchor tag that's within the div so we can access the href attribute and pull all of those out. So we're going to pull those out like that. And if we console.log links, we'll just go through and check it out. Same thing here with importing a function. Get links is equal to require ./get links. And after login, let's just cut this out. And let's also create a variable up here called const username to scrape, not scarp. And let's do CDA Spider-Man. Perfect. So after we log in, we want to await and get links. We'll actually want to store this in a variable called hrefs because that's what is going to be returned in the end. I'm just getting a little bit ahead of us. And then pass in the page and username to scrape. And let's see if I forgot any awaits. All right, I definitely did right here. And let's see, await, all good. All right, let's see if it functions. And we should get a bunch of console logs of the objects here. Oh, looks like we got page.got Go to. Hopefully you caught that before I did. Alright. Navigate there, log in. Then it'll navigate to the page that we want to scrape. And look at all this information. This is all pretty much useless to us in the form that it's at. So we've got to transform it somehow. And we're going to be using a couple different functions. I didn't cover these in the introduction video, but as you can see, the element that was obtained from links is an array. It's kind of hard to see just because it's so long, but this little bracket here says that it's an array, so we're going to want to loop over that and return it. So we're going to be using a map over links, and that will go and transform a bunch of content and return it as an array. And because we're working with promises and async stuff, we have to do await promise dot all, and then create our links dot map, and that's going to be another async function. We're going to name each one of the links that's passed through called link. And I'm just going to break this down real quick. So promise.all will wait for everything that's inside of here to finish before it moves on to the next thing. So we're waiting that too. And map will go through, and if we, just instead of link, we just returned, return the number 8. It will make this raw hrefs full of something called, or it'll just be full of 8s. So let's just run it, just so you can get kind of a grasp of what's going on here if you're not super familiar with async and map and all of that. So it goes through, it scrapes all of it, and then boom, we got our nice array of 8s. So we're transforming all of those into something else. But we don't want to just return 8. We want to manipulate this this object. So const raw, this will be the raw data that will be pulled in from this function call here. So we gotta wait, perfect. Property, so we're going to be getting the property called href, and that will pull, if we inspect here, let me actually just close out of this. This is what we have. We essentially have a captured version of this element, and we want to pull this href of a link. So we got the property called href, but that property isn't really useful to us at the moment. I'll do console.log, and I'll make this called raw, just so, and then when we're going over it, we can kind of see what's going on and why we don't want to use that content there. And we want to pull out the href as some usable information. So JSON. So we're going to call the property object that we just got, call a function on it called json.value, which will return a value that we can actually use. And again, I'll just interpolate in here and show off, a little bit of show off, show you that works, and return the href, because that's what we want the array to be full of. And then node instabot, let's just run it again, show you that all the links are working. And boom, look at all that. Yeah, see, the reason why we don't want to use this is because it has this JS handle. These are all objects with JS handle in them, and we can't just pop the Instagram thing in here. Perfect. We could try to get this out, but this is just a way easier way of doing it. And now we have an array of all of these links, which is perfect. So in the next video, I'm going to be going over and going over how to create a like function. We're just going to be pulling one of these and then calling it on the like function and liking a photo. So it'll likely be just this first photo. It'll pop up and like it. So you can see if I click on this, Control plus click, it'll open it up in a browser. And this is the page that we're going to be working with. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.